Welcome to the NCAA Volleyball Selection Special. We have the bracket right here, and we can't wait to share it with you. Courtney Lyle alongside Olympic bronze medalist Holly McPeak, three-time National Coach of the Year Mary Wise, and this sport just continues to grow. We've seen incredible matches, and we expect nothing less in this year's tournament. With the sport growing, it means that we're seeing better attendance. More fans are coming to this sport. 22 matches this season saw attendance of over 10,000 fans. It's been incredible to watch. We love volleyball. We know that you do too. Holly, what has stood out about this season?
Courtney, we always talk about parity, but this year we've seen more parity than ever before. 14 non-number one teams won their conference tournament and are now in the NCAA tournament. We also saw 194 reverse sweeps, the most we've ever seen.
Mary, this time last year, you were sitting as a head coach with your team. What is this day like for the teams?
You wake up in the morning knowing that the selection is going to happen and it can't come soon enough, and it comes too soon, because from this moment on, it's nothing but a full-out sprint.
Yeah, it's going to be really exciting with all the action starting in just a few days. Speaking of the schedule, let's show it to you. Everything starts on December 4th. That's on Thursday. That's when we'll see some of our first round matches start. And we've got you covered on our ESPN family of networks. And of course, that all new ESPN app all the way through our national championship match. That'll be December 21st in Kansas City on ABC. Well, it's very important to be a top 4 seed in this tournament. You have the chance to host all the way through the round of 8. No surprise, Nebraska, undefeated, is the number 1 overall seed. Number 2, the Kentucky Wildcats. Number 3 is Texas, and rounding out the top 4, well, that would be a team that's played in the semifinals the last 4 years, the Pitt Panthers. This is so important because I cannot emphasize enough. You could play at home all the way through the regional semifinals, the regional final, which is like the Elite 8 in basketball. Do you think the committee got the top 4 teams right?
I think they did, and I think these 4 was the easiest of all their selections.
I would have to agree. We saw a reveal earlier in the year in October, and these were the top 4, albeit in a different order, but Kentucky moving up into that second spot and then Pitt going down to 4.
All right, so no surprise at all, right, that Nebraska was the number 1 overall seed. They've had an outstanding year. So let's reveal the top left portion of the bracket. It's the Nebraska quadrant, where Nebraska has their 3rd undefeated season in program history. They're 30-0. They went 20-0 in the Big Ten, and they only dropped 7 sets all season. They only dropped 1 set in Big Ten play. 3 straight conference titles for the Nebraska Cornhuskers. They will open up against the Long Island Sharks. They've got their first 20-win season since 2017. All right, Sharks, let's go. Started the season 0-6, but man, they've turned it around to make their 14th NCAA appearance. Also in this quadrant, Kansas State Wildcats. Watch out for the Big 12 this year. Their first appearance since 2021, their 19th overall. And this is a team that has tied their program record for ranked wins this year with 5. They got their most wins since 2016. They are going to start their tournament journey against the 8th seed at San Diego, their first appearance since 2022, their 27th overall. And watch out for the Toreros because they enter on an 18-match win streak. They've tied for the 4th most wins in a single season. Interested to see the 5 seed here. Watch out for the Miami Hurricanes.
Miami has been a dangerous team all season long, led by Flora Marie Heredia Colon, who's averaging 7 points per set for her team.
It's the first back-to-back appearance since 2015 for the Miami Hurricanes, a team that was not ranked to start the season but peaked at 14th in the nation. And speaking of Hurricanes, they'll be facing the Tulsa Golden Hurricane. Their first appearance, it's been a minute, since 2012. They're the automatic qualifier out of the American Conference, and they beat the regular season champion Rice for that conference title. Let's take a look at the automatic qualifier out of the Big South. It is High Point, a 3rd straight appearance, and they haven't dropped a set in their last 6 matches. High Point back in the tournament. There you go. Go Panthers. The number 16 overall team in this one are the Kansas Jayhawks.
Another great job by Coach Matt Ulmer. New team, but same place, a top 16 seed.
Yeah, it's been impressive. His first season at Kansas, 5th straight NCAA tournament appearance for them. Still looking in the top left portion, the Nebraska quadrant, the 3 seed in this quadrant, the Texas A&M Aggies.
Watch out for any team that has 9 seniors like A&M does.
College Station is hopping right now. They've got their most wins since 2019, and Jamie Morrison has led them to 3 appearances in his 3 seasons. They're going to face the most improved team in the nation. Campbell only won 6 matches last season. Watch out for the Camels. They have 17 more wins than last season, and their 2nd regular season title. They tied with Hofstra for that title. Stephen F. Austin, welcome to the party. The Lady Jacks, the automatic qualifier out of the Southland Conference, their 9th appearance, but their first in a couple of years. They're back for the first time since 2023. They'll be looking for their first tournament win since 2006. And the 6th seed is the TCU Horned Frogs.
TCU had a fantastic season, wins over Penn State and UCLA. They're led by 5'9" outside hitter Evan Hendricks, almost 5 kills per set.
And 15 of their 30 matches were against ranked teams. What a schedule they played. We'll take a look at the 7 seed. It is Western Kentucky. They have dominated conference play, won the regular season and tournament titles for a 3rd straight season, and they're going to enter the tournament on a 10-match winning streak. Watch out for Callie Bauer, the conference player and setter of the year. Western Kentucky is going to open up against the Marquette Golden Eagles out of the Big East. 5 straight appearances for Marquette. 14 of the last 15 tournaments we've seen the Golden Eagles make an appearance. And how about the automatic qualifier out of the Atlantic 10? Loyola Chicago, the Ramblers are here, their 3rd A-10 tournament title in the last 4 seasons. And yeah, show off that trophy right on the front row. We love to see it. They're going to enter on a 6-match winning streak. That's a season long for them. And the last team in this portion of the bracket is the Louisville Cardinals out of the ACC. Remember, they played in the national championship match last season, but they got a new head coach this year. Not new to the program. Dan Meskey was the associate head coach and now steps up as the head coach. So 16 teams have heard their name called and know that they will be dancing this year. Of course, the tournament starting on Thursday with some of those first round matches. This Nebraska team, it's just been so impressive to watch everything they've done. Look at these numbers, guys. 30-0 on the season, 60 straight home wins, and they've only dropped 1 set in Big Ten play. They've only dropped 7 sets on the entire season. And just incredible to see what Nebraska has done. They've been tested and been able to pass those tests time and time again. They've got some veterans, Holly, like Harper Murray.
Harper Murray is the backbone of this Nebraska Cornhusker team. She does so much. One of those players who never leaves the court. One of the things that makes her elite is her footwork. Quick foot speed, but she can attack anywhere on the court, which makes it very tough to stop. In transition, watch her work. When she sees the ball, she gets out. Quick ball inside in transition coming from over her shoulder. Look at the range with which she attacks this ball. Not easy to do. Harper Murray is also an elite defender in the front row. She is one of those players who can take up all sorts of court. Watch her all the way from left front, come over, pick up that ball in the middle, and Nebraska's able to attack back in transition. I love to watch Harper Murray play middle back because she covers so much range. Watch her middle back, but pick up this ball that goes towards that right sideline and allows Nebraska to transition in immediately.
Yeah, it's incredible. Harper Murray is just one of so many weapons that this Nebraska team has. I feel like their bench could be a starting team in this tournament as well. They're first in the nation in hitting percentage, and distributing this offense and making everything go is their setter, Bergen Riley, who is joining us now. And Bergen, congratulations on getting that –1 overall seed in the tournament. I'm curious to know what's made this team different from past seasons for you.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun with this team, and we find a way each and every day to have so much fun together. And I think you can see that on the court. It's just we have a blast every single day, and each and every game we just go in with the mentality that we're playing a national championship together. So it's been a super fun season, and we can't wait to get the tournament going.
Bergen, how has first-year head coach Danny Busboom-Kelly challenged you in your game to grow?
Yeah, she really just challenges me to take risks and not be complacent and just setting a textbook offense. She wants it to be change it up and change up the routes and keep the defense on their toes. So it's been really fun to set, and our hitters have done a great job of adjusting to that.
Bergen, thank you so much for your time. Congratulations on that top seed, and we can't wait to see the Nebraska Cornhuskers play in this tournament.
Thank you.
It's so impressive, everything that they've done. But, Mary, they're doing it with a new head coach this year in Danny Busboom-Kelly.
Yeah, and credit Danny, her staff, and the players for the buy-in. Because at the end of the day, it's still a different voice. And those players have bought in, and not easy under the pressure that the big lights in Lincoln. Really impressive.
Well, not just Nebraska, but there are so many good teams in this quadrant, this Nebraska quadrant, the upper left portion of the bracket. Who are some other players that you're watching, Holly?
I talked about Flor Maria Heredia-Colon. She has been dominant. Miami has been a very dangerous place to play, but Ariana Rodriguez also leads the country in aces for Miami.
If you're playing Texas A&M, Athena Casapala, my goodness, she's scary.
She is, and she's going to go towards the top of your scouting report. She has a motor of which you seldom see. She can hurt you blocking, and she can hurt you offensively.
Kara Cressy for Louisville has been really impressive. And what I like about this season, Louisville's using her from the service line. She's been able to score all sorts of points when she's on the back line. Obviously, a huge block at the net, and her offensive range and connection with her setter has been extremely good.
It's so fun to watch her attack off of 1 foot. Maybe not if you're trying to block it and defend that, but it's pretty impressive. All right, we've got 16 teams that we know, but still several spots up for grabs coming up. The Pitt quadrant, the lower left portion of the bracket when you come back to the NCAA selection special. Man, that would look really good in somebody's trophy case. Well, somebody on December 21st on ABC is going to take home that trophy. We still have 3 quadrants of this bracket to reveal. So let's start or continue on with the lower left. It's the Pitt quadrant. They made 4 straight semifinal appearances. They've got the reigning National Player of the Year in Olivia Babcock, and it's their 5th straight top 4 seed, which means for 5 seasons in a row, they have a chance to host all the way through the round of 8. They're going to open up with a team out of the American East. It's the UMBC Retrievers, who tied for the regular season title. They won the American East tournament, and they boast the 2-time Defensive Player of the Year in their libero, Hannah Howard. They're going to open up with the Pitt Panthers. Also in this quadrant of the bracket, out of the Big Ten, would be the Michigan Wolverines. They're back in the tournament for the first time since 2021. Just a couple of years ago, they only won 7 matches, and now 21 wins this season under head coach Aaron Virtue, their 21st NCAA appearance, and they're happy to see their name called. The 8th seed in this quadrant, the Xavier Musketeers. First appearance, it's been a minute, since 2007. Just their 3rd appearance overall. They won 16 more games than last second. They're the 2nd most improved team behind Campbell this season. More teams out of the Big 12. Who could it be? The Iowa State Cyclones. Their most conference wins since 2012, including a win over Arizona State, who won the Big 12 title. For Iowa State, they're going to open up against a first-timer. It's the St. Thomas Tommies out of the Summit. Not only is it their first NCAA appearance, it's the first NCAA appearance for any team on campus, because they just transitioned from Division III, where they won a D3 title back in 2012. Another automatic qualifier, it's Fairfield, their most wins since 2022. They enter on a 10-match win streak. Get excited, ladies. 3rd straight tournament title for them and their 7th consecutive regular season title. They're going to open up against the Minnesota Golden Gophers, Holly.
Minnesota has had some challenges, lost 4 starters to injury, but they are young and talented, led by Julia Hansen and setter Stella Swenson.
Their 30th NCAA tournament appearance, and we continue on with this bottom left quadrant, the Pitt quadrant. The number 3 seed is Purdue.
Top 15 in the country in hitting efficiency, and they have the setter and the arms to make a deep run.
And they only returned 1 starter this season. They're still going to make their 11th straight NCAA tournament appearance, their 27th overall. Their first opponent in this tournament will be Wright State, the Raiders out of the Horizon League. They're the automatic qualifier. 5 NCAA tournament appearances, all of them coming in the last 7 seasons. They swept Northern Kentucky, who was the regular season champ in the Horizon tournament, to punch their ticket. Next up, we've got some Red Wolves out of the Sun Belt, Arkansas State. They're back for the first time since 2015. Welcome back, Arkansas State. Their 7th Sun Belt championship. They beat JMU, pick up their first title since 2015. The 6th seed in this quadrant of the bracket is Baylor, who will start with Arkansas State. The Baylor Bears have appeared in the last 10 tournaments as their 14th overall appearances, and it's a team that relies on 3 key freshmen who all made the all-conference list. Out of the American, welcome back to the Rice Owls, the 7 seed, their first appearance since 2022. And at one point this season, they had a 17-match win streak. That's the longest in program history. The Owls are hooting to get back in the tournament, and they are in. Out of the SEC, facing Rice will be the Florida Gators, their first season under Ryan Tice, and it's a 35th straight appearance for the Florida Gators, led by veteran setter Alexis Stuckey. They've got a lot of weapons, and they are ready to rock in this year's tournament. The ASUN automatic qualifier are the Sugar Bears, Central Arkansas. They won their first ASUN tournament title as the number 4 seed. They've got their most wins this year since 2022, and Lacey Bohannon hit .426 in that championship match against Eastern Kentucky. They are going to face off against the 2 seed in this quadrant, Holly. That's the SMU Mustangs.
Head coach Sam Erger of SMU has her team playing such confident volleyball. It helps when you have Avery Carlson running the offense.
3rd straight NCAA appearance under that head coach, Sam Erger. They enter on a 9-match winning streak. And so here are the 16 teams that are in the Pitt quadrant of the bracket, the lower left portion. So we have revealed 32 teams. Now, obviously, with this quadrant, you can't ignore the stars. And one of those stars, one of the biggest in the tournament, Mary, is Olivia Babcock, the reigning National Player of the Year. What makes her so good?
You got to start we talk about Olivia with her feet. They are both fast and efficient. Her ability to transition, to get off the net and make herself available in and out of system. So you start with the feet, oh yeah, and her arm. Her contact point is so much higher above the tape. It might be 10-6 here, but I'm going to tell you, her opponents see it even higher in these matches. She plays the opposite position on the right side. Her ability to hit that wicked, nasty cross-court shot, and if that's not hard enough, oh yeah, you got to defend her attacking line. She can do both angle and line and everywhere in between. So you think you might be able to catch her breath when she goes to the back row? No, because Olivia Babcock is getting kills both front row and back row at a big rate.
Sometimes I feel like she gets kills in the locker room. Olivia Babcock's numbers, even though she has a new setter, she has some different pieces around her. Her numbers are just so good, and she is making a case for another Player of the Year award. And Olivia Babcock is joining us now. Olivia, congratulations on another NCAA tournament. This is a program that has made 4 straight appearances in the national semifinal. What have you taken away from your NCAA tournament experience that can help you guys make a deep run this year?
Yeah, I think we just have more experience on the team and more people who have been through it. So it's very easy for us to be able to share those experiences and let the younger players know what they're expecting, just so when we get to the time, it's no longer something we're new to, but something that we've mentally prepared ourselves for.
Olivia, you have a new setter in Brick Mosier. What's your journey with her been like this year?
I mean, she gets better every single day. There is so much trust from all positions with her. I feel like just her growth and her want to be better is why her connection finds so much success with everyone. I mean, she's the first one in the gym. She puts in so many extra reps before practice. So I feel like every single practice we're just connecting better. And I feel like that really reflects when we step on the court in game.
Yeah, it's been so much fun to watch you guys evolve and grow this season together. Olivia, best of luck in the tournament. We can't wait to see the Pitt Panthers.
Thank you.
You know, it's hard to ignore Olivia's numbers, Holly, but defensively, what do you see when you watch this Pitt team?
Dan Fisher always has his team playing relentless defense. And I saw on Wednesday, Pitt take down Louisville, and it was elite serving and then the defensive pressure. He likes to block scheme and shut teams down, and they were just giving Louisville all sorts of problems with their defense.
Well, you know that this Pitt team is going to be motivated. Like we said, they have been to the semifinals 4 years in a row, haven't been able to push past that. We'll see how deep of a run they can make this year. Talking about this quadrant of the bracket, some other big stars that you're watching, and how about a Minnesota team that was decimated by injuries, Holly?
With 4 key injuries, Julia Hansen has had to carry a bigger load, and she has not disappointed. Big arm, 4 kills per set for her in Minnesota. Malaya Jones on the opposite. She has taken over matches when SMU needed it on that right side, put some dents in the floor along the way.
And then, Mary, you got to recruit and coach Alexis Stuckey. What makes her special?
You know, Courtney, the road back from a major injury is never easy, and it wasn't for Lex, but she put the time and the work in to be playing her best volleyball of her career.
And then Michigan, Allison Jacobs, Holly.
Allison Jacobs, 7 matches, over 20 kills, leading her team. She's steady every part of the game. That first contact, especially helping Michigan get here.
All right, we know 32 teams, ladies. We've got 32 teams more left to reveal in this year's bracket. Nothing like a watch party, right? As soon as you hear your name called, a little bit of relief. We have seen cheering and excitement for this year's tournament, and we have more to come. Coming up next, the Texas quadrant. We will reveal the upper right portion of the bracket. That's next on the NCAA Volleyball Selection Special. We'll crown a champion on December 21st in Kansas City, but we still have half of the bracket to reveal. And don't worry if you're sweating it out, getting a little nervous. We're about to reveal all the rest of the 32 teams in this bracket. Upper right portion of the bracket, this is the Texas quadrant. The Texas Longhorns, they are a top 4 seed, a 4-time NCAA champion, 22 NCAA appearances in a row, and they've been ranked in the top 5 all season. The Longhorns are going to open up against the Florida A&M Lady Rattlers, who have making their 4th appearance in the last 5 tournaments. Let's go. Watch party hopping right now. They beat 3 teams in the tournament they had lost to in the regular season, so a little revenge run for them. Next up in this portion of the bracket, South Florida back in for the first time since 2002. The Bulls coming out of the American. It's their 8th overall appearance in the tournament. And for South Florida, this team is going to open up with somebody who knows what it's like to win this tournament, the defending champs, Penn State.
A very different roster from a year ago, but once again, here's Penn State right where they always are in the tournament.
And they've got a huge weapon in Kennedy Martin, the transfer from Florida. They're making their 45th appearance. They have been in every tournament. The 5 seed in this quadrant of the bracket, the Colorado Buffaloes out of the Big 12. We just keep saying the Big 12. 5th most wins in program history, and they started Big 12 play at 11-1. Their only loss during that time was to Arizona State, who won the conference title. Colorado is going to open up against the Patriot League automatic qualifier, the American Eagles. They're back in the tournament for the first time since 2019, and it's a team that lost 9 players from last year. No seniors this year, no problem. They're entering on a 17-match win streak. How about those Eagles? We've got a first-timer coming up. Hello, Toledo out of the MAC. Their first NCAA appearance. They've got their 2nd most wins in program history, and they're doing this in their first season under head coach Brian Wright. They've got their first 20-win season since 2021. They will be opening up against the Indiana Hoosiers, Holly.
What a turnaround for Indiana. Last year they were 15-15. This year 23-7, led by a freshman setter from Serbia, Teodora Krišković.
And Holly has been practicing that name.
Yes,
Nailed
I
it.
have. I hope so.
Indiana's back for the first time since 2010 and one of the top 16 teams. All right, moving on in this Texas quadrant of the bracket, the top right, it is Wisconsin, a 13 straight appearance.
Wisconsin definitely happy to have Charlie Furbringer back in the lineup. They are 18-1 with her running the offense.
Yeah, and they come in winning their last 9 matches, feeling really good. And Mimi Collar's just tearing it up in Big Ten play. Wisconsin is going to open up against EIU, the Panthers, out of the OVC, the automatic qualifier, making its 3rd appearance under first-year head coach Ryan Miller. 2nd OVC tournament title in the last 3 years. Congratulations to the Panthers. Hey, they also went undefeated at home, 12-0 this year. Out of the ACC, the North Carolina Tar Heels, they were one of the last 4 teams into the field, but yes, the Heels will be partying. Their 21st appearances, they've made 3 of the last 5 tournaments, and they're ready to go for this one. North Carolina is going to open up against an opponent out of Conference USA. It's the UTEP Miners, who have made back-to-back appearances, their only appearances, and now they're going to be a 6th seed in this tournament. They picked up their first ever regular season championship, their best conference record in program history, and they ended Western Kentucky's 100-match regular season conference win streak. No big deal. Next up in this quadrant, how about South Dakota State, the Jackrabbits, back-to-back appearances, 3rd overall, and they dominated the conference, 16-0 in conference play. Ended up losing to St. Thomas in that tournament final, but an outstanding season for them. And the Big 12 once again, Arizona. We haven't seen the Arizona Wildcats in a minute, but they are back in this year's tournament, dancing for the first time since 2018, and they'll open up against South Dakota State. How about the automatic qualifier out of the WAC? Utah Valley, the Wolverines, their first regular season title, 3rd NCAA tournament appearance. What is it about teams from Utah this year? Keep that in mind. This is a well-traveled team, too. Utah Valley, they traveled over 16,000 miles this season to play these matches. They're going to open up against a team who has won more national championships. That's the Stanford Cardinal.
With their huge win over Louisville last night, they earn a share of the ACC title and the number 6 seed.
Yeah, and they boast Elia Rubin, who is a semifinalist for the National Player of the Year. Fun fact, the youngest team among power conference teams, 82% underclassmen on their roster. So this is the Texas quadrant, and one of the biggest portal stories in the offseason was Tori Stafford transferring from Pitt to Texas. Stafford played in 2 national semifinals at Pitt, but was ready for a new chapter and felt right at home in Austin.
Last season, the way that we ended that was really hard for our program.
Creighton is moving on.
But it was also the older players graduating, and so we had to start rebuilding.
At the end of the season, Tori Stafford, Pittsburgh's star outside hitter, was one of the biggest names in the transfer portal.
Last year, Tori was the most efficient outside hitter in the country. And then you look at the human side of her in terms of the energy that she brings to the court, the type of team player she is. She just had all the facets that were critical for us to bring into our program.
I was praying during this time. It was so stressful. I was like, oh my gosh, where am I going to go next? I was really stepping out on faith.
Stafford accepted an invitation to Austin and met with the Texas coaching staff.
I came here and I kind of knew. I had dinner with all the coaches and their wives. And I'm like, I'm so happy. Like, I feel like it's here.
Stafford transferred to Texas in January.
I made really strong connections with all the girls, and I think that's a big reason of loving volleyball is like the people you're surrounded with.
The bond between Stafford and her teammates kept the Longhorns near the top of the rankings throughout the regular season.
Obviously, like, our end goal is to win the national championship, but I feel like we've been taking every single game and treating it like a national championship. And so we find success in going day by day, winning each game, winning each practice.
We have a special group, and when we really play our best is when we're having fun with one another, connected, and in the moment.
Her impact has been huge for Texas. Mary, if you're a head coach, why is she your first phone call when she hits the portal?
Because in Tori Stafford, you have one of the best, most elite arms in the entire country. She is the reason Texas is a top 4 seed.
Wow. Now, I think Jared Elliott actually came back from a family vacation early to make sure they got her
I
out
would
of
do
the
the
portal.
same.
Holly, when you watch Tori Stafford, especially on this year's Texas team, what stands out?
Her competitiveness. She's just one of those players who wants to win more than anybody, and she puts the young team on her back when they need her most. Last year, she was the most efficient outside hitter in the country. She picked up right where she left off. You'll see Texas use her on the right side. She gets her feet to the ball and can hit that ball anywhere on the court because of those elite feet. On the left side, she, in transition, works to find open court and then hits impossible angles with crazy range. Tori Stafford has the elite arm, but she also has the court vision and experience to swing out of very tough positions.
And even at a different school with a new setter, new teammates, look at her numbers from last season at Pitt to this season at Texas. Wow, the kills go up, the hitting percentage is still outstanding, and more aces this year. Tori Stafford, a huge difference maker for this Texas program. Who else are you guys watching in this Pitt quadrant?
You know, in Kennedy Martin, she's playing with 5 different setters in her 3 years, and her point production has only increased every year.
Charlie Furbringer back in the lineup for Wisconsin, healthy. When she's running the offense, good things happen. Carter Booth and Mimi Collier shine.
And how about Stanford working with a freshman setter, Mary?
A freshman setter who might just be one of the most improved players in the entire country in Logan Parks.
Indiana with that turnaround, freshman setter from Serbia, Teodora Kriskovic, doing a fantastic job running a really balanced offense for Indiana.
Yeah, how about Indiana's season? Been really impressive. That's going to be a tough quadrant of the bracket. Well, we have one more quadrant to go. Shall we go ahead and give the people what they want?
Yes, let's do it.
I think that we should. 16 teams remain. Kentucky is the top seed in this quadrant. It's the bottom right portion of the bracket. 9 straight SEC regular season titles, and they won the SEC tournament championship in a thriller over Texas. They're going to open up against the Wofford Terriers out of the SoCon, the automatic qualifier. They've made all 3 of their appearances in the last 3 seasons. It's the winningest 3-year period in program history. Coming out of the ACC, no stranger to the tournament, Georgia Tech, 6 straight appearances. They were one of the last 4 teams into the field, and they will be dancing once again. And this Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets team is going to face the 8th seed, and that will be the UCLA Bruins out of the Big Ten. They're back in the tournament for the first time since 2021. Okay. They're getting down in Westwood right now. 39th overall appearance for UCLA, and it's a team that's got 10 newcomers on the roster as well. The number 5 seed in the Kentucky quadrant, BYU out of the Big 12, a 14th straight appearance. And Sully Davis, BYU freshman kills record this season. BYU is going to open up against an opponent out of the Big West in Cal Poly, who is making their first appearance since 2019. They beat UC Davis in that Big West championship game, and they've got their most wins under head coach Caroline Walters in her 8th season leading this Mustangs program. Automatic qualifier out of the Ivy League. It's Princeton. They're back for the first time since 2019. Regular season title, and then they beat Yale in 5 sets for the tournament title. Sydney Draper is that Ivy League Player of the Year, their setter. Their opponent, the USC Trojans.
USC has 3 freshmen in key positions and have been getting better as the season goes on. Very athletic, and they finished on a high note.
Yeah, they've got their most wins since 2017, 4 straight appearances in the tournament under head coach Brad Keller. Continuing on in the Kentucky quadrant, the bottom right portion of this bracket, the number 3 seed in this portion is Creighton, who enters on a 20-match win streak. They have a really nice history in this tournament. A program record 76 straight weeks ranked, 6 straight Big East tournament titles, the longest national streak, and they're going to start their run against Northern Colorado. The Bears out of the Big Sky. Bears are excited. Their first appearance since 2022. They're 8th overall, and they defeated Idaho State in that Big Sky tournament to punch their ticket. More Big 12 teams. Who is it? It's the Utah Utes, Holly.
What I love about seeing Utah on the board is they had to win their last match in order to get in the tournament, and they were able to do so under a ton of pressure.
Might be one of the best reacts that we've seen. You love to see it. They are going to start their tournament facing UNI, Northern Iowa, the Panthers of the Missouri Valley. 4 straight appearances, and they enter dangerous because they have won 21 matches in a row. How about UNI getting ready to dance? The 7th seed in the Kentucky quadrant, the Tennessee Lady Vols out of the SEC, a 5th straight NCAA appearance under Eve Rackham-Watt. That ties a program record, and they've got 20 wins for the first time since 2023, and a 3-time All-SEC setter in Caroline Kerr. Tennessee is going to open up against Utah State out of the Mountain West, 7th NCAA appearance, and they're the 2nd Mountain West team to go undefeated in league play and win the conference tournament. They haven't lost a match since September 18th, a 21-match win streak, 3rd longest in program history. Coppin State, there you are, 2nd NCAA appearance. The last was just a couple of years ago in 2023, and it's their 3rd 20-win season in the last 4 years. And for the Eagles, they're going to open up against the number 2 seed in this quadrant. It's the Big 12 champ, Arizona State.
Another senior-laden team with a big arm on the right in Noem Glover.
Back-to-back conference titles, their only Big 12 titles ever. So the field is set. That rounds out the Kentucky quadrant, the bottom right portion of your bracket. And for this Kentucky team, you can't talk Kentucky and not talk about the 1-2 punch on the left side in Brooklyn DeLay and Eva Hudson.
So what makes them so difficult to defend is that the set to the front row and the back row, it's of the same tempo. Watch these hitters coming off of their 2nd step, going into the 3rd, timing that whether they are front row and back row. You don't get a break because one of them is coming at you, whether she's that front row player or the back row player, and as such, it makes it really hard for the wing blockers to help block. That's why this Kentucky team is so dangerous.
Yeah, this 1-2 punch is absolutely crazy. Brooklyn DeLay was last year's Conference Player of the Year. Eva Hudson is this year's Conference Player of the Year, and this duo has more kills per set than any other duo in the nation, so watch out for Kentucky. All right, let's talk about this Arizona State team, Holly, because it's a Sun Devil program that won the Big 12, and we saw them as the number 7 overall team. Were you surprised by that?
Not at all. J.J. Van Niel has his team playing extremely well. They run a 6-2 offense. We don't see a lot of that, but they're led by Noemi Glover, who's averaging 4 kills per set on that right side. And then Colby Neal in the middle. She's been fantastic. They're going to be a dangerous team in the tournament.
You know, we did ask the NCAA selection committee if they had considered Arizona State because they had won that conference title for being a top 4 seed, and they said it was a problem that they did not have any top 10 RPI wins, and so still a very good team and a conference champion, but they're going to be the 7 overall team and an outstanding season and a dangerous team I'm sure nobody wants to face in this tournament. The bracket is set. We know the teams in this year's 64-team field for the NCAA volleyball tournament. Action's going to start up on Thursday, but we are not done here just yet. More on the bracket and more on this year's big dance when we come back.